Well guys, I just did something and it is right in front of me. I drove an hour to go get it and I did not use a truck for it, so let me start showing this. See, my tire is like barely under the car. We come there, you see the hitch, it's kind of dark. I was trying to go earlier in the day, but the dude was ignoring me all day long, and then he finally is like, oh sorry, I had an emergency, which I think someone else went to go look at it, but I didn't get there till like right at dusk, so I drove home all the way like this, and if you see, this bitch hangs off the back and wiggles a lot. And I somehow drove an hour home with it. I have all the plastics in the back of my car, but if you don't know what this is Honda right there. Hopefully I'll be able to get a better video of this. I'll probably just record it tomorrow, but let me show you my interior and how that looks right now. Seats, plastics, everything just completely full, along with the bottom of the ramp to get on. I love that sticker. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bike off. It is water cooled. That's a little radiator right there. I think that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this bitch off, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it in, but I'm gonna try to. So I set the front fairing and that little rear fairing thing on, and here is all the plastics. Like I said before, the dude took it apart to try to make it quick. So I'm gonna have to put it all back together because it does still work and everything. I need to figure out why it doesn't run, and he also said the CVT belt needs to be changed. Yeah, it is non-existent at the moment. So it is automatic. I did not know that at first until I started to do some research, but I don't really care. This thing is gonna be not a fast machine, but a stance machine. I guess I might as well say the build plan is, so, you know, Honda ruckuses and Honda groms, those things that, you know, they make them all stanced out, stretched, lowered, put these fat dish wheels on it, make them look really hot, and they honestly don't spend that much money. And so, you know, one of the things I can do to not only make my car more attention getting, but I can have a bike, you know. Bikes don't cost as much to build, and you can make them look really cool just by doing a couple simple things to it. So I want to see if I can make this 1986 Honda Helix a stance mobile, something cool and badass that no one's ever heard of. I already have people on my Snapchat. By the way, add my Snapchat right here. But I have people messaging me and saying like, what the hell is that? And that is what I love. People don't even really know what that is. Where is it? Right there. No one really knows what the Cressida is. You know, I just like being unique, and I love the retroness of old Japanese cars. Because if you see this right here, let me go ahead and give it some power, and so I can show y'all the speedometer and odometer and shit. So I have the jumper pack hooked up right there, and if I turn the key, you can see, look at how retro that is, and you have to press this foot brake down wherever the fuck it's at. Oh, it's hidden behind this plastic right now. Press the foot brake down, and then hear it turn over, and so that is cool. High beam, low beam. See horn? The horn does not work. That is a loud horn for sure. Alrighty, looks like they put an aftermarket horn on it, so that's cool. There's the lights and shit. And it's also got this badass little storage container back here. If I open this up, it's dark. Let me get my phone flashlight on. See, there's quite a bit of space back there, along with the little back seat area, but this is a big old bitch, so she is pretty massive. So this is gonna be fun. This thing's like a fucking snowmobile on wheels. So I bought a battery for it, but this is one of the ones where you have to put the acid in and then charge it afterwards. So it was a bit cheaper to get it like this instead of the normal one that you just like put in and done. So what I have to do is tear it off put these things in it, give them a little booty tap, and then let it sit until it's empty for like 20 minutes and yada yada, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. So I'm working on putting the plastics that don't cover any of the motor area up, because I still got to figure out why it's not getting fuel. Ooh, my hair looks weird. But I was able to get it to start if I sprayed brake cleaner in it, but then as soon as it wore off after a few seconds, it died. And so I have to figure that out, but I just put this front cowl, at least I just hooked it back up. These are the turn signals, you can see. Right there, it blinks. Right there, put it right. That one blinks, and that one blinks, and it makes a funny sound for the relay. And then all I do, I push it in for off. You can see if I go left, I put it to the middle to push it off. So I literally don't have anything mounted. I got to figure out where I put my bag of bolts at. Here it is. So right here is all the bolts that he said he took off. There's long ones, short ones, stubby ones, plastic ones, metal ones, like plastic threads, and then like the metal threads, which are finer, because the plastic threads you want thicker and sharper. So I got to figure out where it goes. I see that piece is broken. I don't know if this goes on top. I don't know if the black goes on top or if the yellow goes on top. I think the black goes on top because this is one of those clip things. And there's red underneath, so I wonder if red is the primer or the old color, but everything else is yellow, and on the title it says yellow. So I'm gonna go with that, but yeah, there's the Honda license plate. For some reason, I didn't check it at the time. He didn't give me a title, but he gave me registration papers with his name on it, so he might not have the title, but even then, it's not that hard of a process. I've kind of gone through it, not fully though, not on a motorcycle at all, so I have to figure that out. But anyways, I'm gonna go through and get the rest of this figured out. So I took all the stuff out and kind of organized it together. Right there is miscellaneous. Those are a bunch of plastic screws, and then I don't know what anything else is, but I got the first two bolts in, one right there and one right there for this piece. So I guess I'm just gonna start doing it now. All these little things, these all look like little screws, what I think all those in that little pile are. But like I said, I'm gonna figure it out. Well, I got as much on as possible. These little pieces right there, I bolted this piece down. I got this bolted down. It is missing the left handle, but there's still the right handle. That piece is not held on very well. There's these little fairing things right here. This piece, and I don't have this bolted down or this bolted down because I still want to access the carburetor and all this stuff to clean it and everything. I have all this front section piece hooked on. Well, here is day two. I got the Helix pushed out and ready to be power washed because there are spider webs and just nasty shit all over it. So I'm gonna clean this right up, and I want everything to be clean when I'm working on it. So here's a little before. You can see the yellow is a bit dirty. Before at night you couldn't really tell, but I started this day off by calling every single power sports dealership within an hour of me, and the cheapest I could find was $48, but I wouldn't be able to get it till Tuesday. And the most expensive I found was $100, and I can get it tomorrow for the drive belt. Since there is not one, and there's also no cover, I don't know if they're supposed to be or not, but I see screw holes, so I would assume so. But anyways, so I ended up just ordering one for $17 off of eBay, and I'll get it Tuesday like all the other dealerships said I would get it if I ordered it through them for more money, so that's not bad. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, so let's do this. All right, not a whole lot better, but still better. I'm gonna go ahead and push her back into the garage. Now that my mom's at work, I got that whole spot open so I can start diagnosing the fuel issue and why it does not want to run whenever there's no brake parts cleaner in it. So at first it wasn't getting fuel, and I messed around with the little fuel pump right here and I got it to work, and then I checked spark, so it is getting fuel and spark, and so I have to figure out why it is not firing then. It starts for a second but doesn't want to stay running. I don't know if it's electrical or not, but he said it ran. But now I'm taking the carburetor off, and I ran into an issue where this screw does not want to come out, and it's starting to strip. So I have my Dremel, and I'm just going to drill a little hole sideways so I could use a flathead to get it out then, so it doesn't keep stripping out. I actually broke my impact driver. I had a screwdriver thing that you like put in and you hammer it to loosen it, and it actually broke the bit on it. So this thing is beating my ass. But once I get this off, then I have the whole carburetor off. You can see everything else is connected. I can start taking it apart and cleaning it and seeing if there's any gunk anywhere. And now that I have the carburetor off, I can go through everything. And if you look at these screws right here, most of them are messed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just Dremel all of those, because I don't know if you saw, but I got it pretty easily with the flathead once I Dremeled it. So I'm gonna take the float off, look inside everything, and clean it up a little bit and see if there's any issues. And now that I got all those cut, I was able to take it off pretty easily. There's not a lot of gunk at the bottom, and the float looks pretty clean. I'm gonna take the float thing actually out all the way. So we got some rain. And this is kind of funny. Look at all those ants, like in little balls. They're like crawling around. It's weird. So I just got done bolting everything back up, and now we're gonna see if she starts. Oh, she running. She barely running. I'm gonna let it. Should I rev it? She running a little bit rough, and there's some smoke, but it doesn't smell like bad smoke. But she running. Now that she's running, all she needs is a drive belt, and I got to figure out what that noise is. But it calls for a congratulatory Dr. Pepper. Okay, well now that it runs, I want to try something. I want to drive it so bad, but I just ordered the belt. But if you look right there, you can see like 4 rubber bands. And so if I start it, technically, oh, all right, well I think I have one left. I mean, technically it's working. This would be called plausible if it were fucking Mythbusters. But I'm pretty sure as soon as I set it on the ground, it's gonna snap. But I mean, it is working technically. Alright, so I've just kind of been messing around with it. I wanted to look at the back area, and so I had to take that piece back off, and then this big box just came off with 3 screws. I want to add another brake light in, and I was going to add it on to the bottom of this outside piece, because this light right here is a normal light and the brake light, kind of like trucks or, you know, old American cars. So I want to add another brake light. I thought these were brake lights, but they're just reflectors. They don't have anything hooked up. So I took this off, that way I could access the wiring and tap into it. But other than that, I can also see the back and see how I'm gonna lower this bitch. I don't know if you can cut springs on motorcycles, nor do I really want to find out and then fuck up, but yeah, here it is from the back. So I figured I'd start taking some stuff apart, and I took this little cap off right here. It's got a little K&N sticker, and I'm not positive if that's, oh wow, it's barely even fucking attached. Let's take a look at her. There's a crack there. I don't know where it would say K&N if it did anywhere, but oh wow, what is this inside of it? We got little pieces of shit inside of my airbox too. Wonder if there's a way to fucking like relocate this or something. And I was also looking into if I want to lower it, what I'm gonna have to do. And it looks like the tire would hit the exhaust. I don't know if it works like that, but this definitely hits the exhaust, and then I don't know how I'm gonna go about this, but I'll figure it out eventually. This is only less than a day of owning it that I'm doing all this, so I guess I'll see. So I cleaned the air filter off. I don't know if y'all can tell, and if you see right there, it says K&N. And in all honesty, I really want to modify this bike and change a lot of the stuff on it. And one of the things would be moving this air filter, but you know, it's fucking in a weird spot, and it's kind of all jumbled up right here. So I'd like move it over to like have it stick out a little bit and make it look nicer, but I don't know, I really don't want to be messing with a lot of stuff before the bike's running good, because you know, if you do a bunch of stuff at once, then you can't tell, you know, what went wrong. But you see, this is the massive air box. It's got a little line right there that goes to it, but it's like right next to the tire. And this shit is nasty right here, look at that. So I am removing the exhaust right now. I am most likely gonna put it back on just because it'd be fully just out the block, but here is, oh wow, that's pretty fucking hefty, but the exhaust ends right here. So time to see how fucking loud and obnoxious she is. And that was fucking horrible. So at this point, I'm just so bored that I'm taking shit apart. So here's the full air box that I took out. You can see it's pretty massive and dirty as fuck at the same time. But I also took the other side out, so there's no air intake at the moment. And I was messing around with the filter, and I had this silicone tubing sitting around, and I can almost use it as a pipe. It'd come out like right here, but it'd be under the fairing, but it'd still be, you know, out. So I think I might do that. I don't know yet. I just want to make this as open as possible, take as much shit that I don't need off, and make it open just like I do with all my cars, like engine bay wise and shit, clean everything up and make it look nice. Because this whole scooter is going to be about aesthetics, not really function, because it's a fucking scooter and there's only so much you can do with it. So it kind of looks like a cool scooter now without all the big things on it, not so retro. But I got it out here so I can clean it. I got some degreaser that I got from Harbor Freight, and I'm just gonna soak this bitch and power wash it and get all the areas that I couldn't get before since I took the exhaust and air box off. So here's a before with all of this shit. I might get a little bit of water in the carburetor, but that's not that big of a deal. So I just got done spraying it. I got a lot of black stuff off, but there are still some areas where it's being stubborn even after I let it sit, and when I didn't scrub it all, but I just sprayed it all, and you can see all this stuff shining back up. And especially right here, I don't know if that's called the swing arm. I guess it would be, but I don't know if it's different. It's not really a swing arm because there's a attached whatever. But I got all that. That's still black inside. This is actually painted black, so that's not dirty. There's little areas there, and I did put a towel in the carburetor, so you don't have to worry about that. In other news, I got all my stickers from Prada Productions. They had a $1 sale after this car meet I went to, and I bought every single one of their stickers because they're $1 each. Screws-ton. And if anybody can find a vehicle wrap that looks like this purple, hit me up, because that's what I'm trying to wrap my car in. Used to not have many problems. Ugly boys. I'm pretty cool, but I cry a lot. Ugly boys, Screws-ton, and then these are the ones I bought at the meet, and then I ordered all of these separately. But anyways. Well, I don't want to make this video too long, and I've already done as much as I feel like doing for now, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Don't worry, there will be definitely some sequels to this, so yeah, just keep watching, like, subscribe, add my socials right here somewhere, and yeah, thanks for watching, and peace.